Okay, hi everyone. So this time, I will report the topic nga naka-assign sa kuha, and it's all about the determinants and elementary operations. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so that is my topic, determinants and elementary operations. So now is we are going to using a elementary operation by computing the determinant process. Okay, so let's try to evaluate determinant using elementary operation. So, which of the two determinants shown below is easier to evaluate? So, that is 4 by 4 matrix, A and B. Okay, so much easier to evaluate is that the second determinants. Kasi pa-triangle matrix siya. Unlike sa first determinants. Okay, so given what you now know about the determinant of triangle matrix, it is clear that the second determinant is much easier to evaluate. So, yun yung letter B. Its determinant is simply the product of the entries on the main diagonal, that is B. Yung pa-triangle matrix siya. 1 times 2 times negative 3 times negative 1 equals 6. On the other hand, using expansion by cofactors, the only technique discussed so far to evaluate the first determinant is missing. So, ito yung first determinant, yung A. Pag i-evaluate natin yung dalawang determinant, 6 yung kalabasan nila puro. So, same lang yung result nila. But, naay isa sa ilaha nga mas dali i-evaluate kaysa sa isa. Dibog siya i-evaluate yung first determinant. Okay, so, pag i-evaluate nato siya, ito siya. For instance, if you expand by cofactors across the first row, so ito yung maging okay, so evaluating the determinants of these 4 3 by 3 matrices produce. So, yan yung maging resulta. 1 times negative 60 is negative 60. Tapos, i-add natin siya sa 2 times 39, 78. Tapos, i-add na naman natin siya sa 3 times negative 10 is negative 30 plus 18 equal 6. So, same result lang silang dalawa. Actually, in-evaluate ko siya sa notebook. Itong determinant for itong 4 3 by 3 matrices. Okay, so ito yung first determinants, and then so 6 yung resulta niya. At saka ito yung second determinant. Okay. So same result din sila. Ang nakalahi lang sila is mas lisod i-evaluate yung first determinant. Okay, so tapos na natin ma-evaluate yung dalawang determinant. So now is let's proceed to the effects of elementary row operations on a determinant. Okay, so we have 3 effects of elementary row operation on a determinant. So the first one is the matrix B was obtained from A by interchanging the rows of A. So ang mahitabo dire is kailangan natin itong i-multiply at saka i-subtract. So itong matrix B gi-obtain lang siya sa A but ang ihang rows gi-interchange gikan sa A. Okay. So okay. So sa mag-start tayo sa A. So 2 times 4 equals 8. Then 1 times negative 3 equals negative 3. So it would be 11. Then sa matrix B tayo naman is 1 times negative 3 equals negative 3. 2 times 4 equals 8. So subtract natin to. So negative 11 yung equal niya. Equals 11, negative 11. So ang kalahian lang silahang duha is same result lang siya but na change yung sign niya. Okay, isusunod naman natin yung second effects natin. Okay. So the second one is the matrix B was obtained from A by adding negative 2 times the first row of A to the second row of A. So ang gagawin natin dito sa second effects is magmo-multiply tayo by negative 2. Then i-add naman natin. So yung matrix A mag-a-add tayo ng negative 2 para maka-produce tayo ng new second row sa matrix B. Okay, so same process pa rin yung gagawin natin. Okay. Ang gagawin natin dito is 1 times negative 2 natin siya i-multiply natin siya sa negative 2 equals negative 2 man plus 2 equals 0. Then negative 3 times negative 2, yan, i-multiply natin siya sa negative 2, ito, equals 6. Then, plus negative 4 equals, so, sa B naman tayo, so the first row is gikopy na natin sa matrix A. Then naka-produce tayo nito by adding negative 2, by multiply negative 2, then add here. So walang nangyari sa second effects. Kahit may adding negative 2, walang na change, same result pa rin. Okay, so let's proceed to the third effects. So the matrix B was obtained from A by multiplying the first row of A by 1/2. So ang nangyari dito sa third effects is yung para maka-produce tayo ay gi-obtain pa rin yung matrix B sa A, but para maka-produce tayo ng a new first row sa matrix B, kailangan natin mai-multiply ito siya, mai-multiply yung first row by 1/2. So, ang gagawin natin is 2 times 9 equals 18. Then, negative 2 times negative 8 equals 16. So, equals 2. Then, sa B, copy the second row sa matrix B. Then, okay, so, i-multiply natin yung first row, ay, i-multiply natin by 1/2 yung first row ng matrix A. Okay, so 2 times 1/2 equals 1. Then, negative 8 times 1/2 equals negative 4. So, meron na tayong a new first row of matrix B. Okay, ayan yung the effects of elementary row operation on a determinant. Okay, so now we're going to finding the determinants using elementary row operations. So, find the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. So, ang ating first row is 2, negative 3, and 10. Then the second row is 1, 2, negative 2. Then the last row is 0, 1, negative 3. Okay. So, using elementary row operations, rewrite A in triangle form as follows. Okay. Okay, remember guys that the determinants is not changed, but the matrix is gonna change. Okay. So, ang gagawin natin dito is yung first, una natin gagawin is i-interchange natin yung first two rows. Yung first row at saka second row. So, ito siya na interchange na. Then, dito naman ay pag ma-interchange natin yung the first two rows, ma-negative sign talaga siya, ma-negative sign pag i-flip natin yung two rows. Okay, so pagdating dito naman, para maka-produce tayo dito ng new second row, kailangan natin mag-add tayo dito ng negative 2. Okay. So, okay, so 1 times negative 2, yung in-add nating negative 2. So, 1 times negative 2 equals negative 2. Then, plus 2 equals 0. Then, 2 times negative 2 equals negative 4. Then, add natin yung negative 3 equals negative 7. Then, negative 2 times negative 2 yung add 2, negative 2 times natin. Then, equals 4. 4 plus 10 equals 14. So, meron na tayong new second row sa sa ikalawang matrix. Okay, so sa last matrix naman is naging 7 yan kasi negative 7 equals positive 7. So, 14 minus 7 equals 7. So, para maka-produce tayo ng second row dito, kailangan natin magfa-factor tayo ng negative 7 dito. So, 0 negative 7 0 divide negative 7 equals 0. Then, negative 7 divide negative 7 equals 1. Then, 14 divide negative 7 equals negative 2. So, meron na tayong a new second row. Okay, so dito naman sa last matrix natin is we need to add negative 1 times the second row to the third row to produce a new third row. Okay. So, 0 times negative 1 equals 0. Equals 0. So, meron na tayong equals 0. So, meron na tayong the third row first column. Then, 1 times negative 1 equals negative 1 plus 1 equals 0. So, meron tayong the second column in the third row. Then, negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 1 equals 2 plus negative 3 equals negative 1. So, meron na tayong the third column third column in the 3 column in the third row. So, ayan na. So, now, because the final matrix is triangular, you can conclude that the determinant is A equals 7 times 1 times 1 times negative 1 equals 7. So, ito siya. Ito siya. Triangular matrix. So now, let's proceed to the finding the determinant using elementary column operation. So, find the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. Because the first two columns of A are multiples of each other, you can obtain a column of zeros by adding 2 times the first column to the second column as follows. Okay, so kailangan tayong mag-multiply dito by 2, and then i-add natin dito sa second column para maka-produce tayo ng a new second column dito sa pangalawang matrix. Okay. So, ang gagawin natin is negative 1 times yung i-add natin sa yung ipa-add na 2 equals negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. And then, dito naman is 3 times 2 equals 6 plus negative 6 equals 0. And then 5 times 2 equals 10 plus negative 10 equals 0. So, meron na tayong second column. Okay, at this point, you do not need to continue to rewrite the matrix in triangular form because there is an entire column of zeros dito. The validity of this conclusion follows from the theorem 3.1, specifically by expanding by cofactors along the second column. You have A equals 0 times column 12 plus 0 times column 22 plus 0 column 32 equals 0. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed to the matrix with a 0 determinant. So, let's find the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. So, yung first row natin is 1, 4, 1. Then, the second row is 2, negative 1, and 0. Then, the last row is 0, 18, and 4. So, ang gagawin natin dito is mag-add tayo ng negative 2 times the first row to the first row to the second row produce. Okay, so 1 times negative 2 equals negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. So, ito, 0. Then, 4 times negative 2 equals 8 plus negative 1 equals negative 9. And then, 1 times negative 2 equals negative 2 plus 0 equals negative 2. So, nakaproduce na tayo ng adjo second row sa Okay. So, now is because the second and third rows are multiples of each other, you can conclude that the determinant is 0. Okay. So, in example 4, you could have obtained a matrix with a row of all zeros by performing an additional elementary row operation, adding 2 times the second row to the third row. This is true in general, that is, a square matrix has a determinant of 0 if and only if it is row or column, equivalent to a matrix that has at least one row or column consisting entirely of zeros. Okay, so I'm done to report my topic. So that's it.